Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the counselor's office. I'm less sicky icky. My voice is finally phlegm free, and we are here in this week in Destiny. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm splitting up this video because I want to talk about the weapons that were new weapons coming out, the weapon chases, all that stuff tomorrow. So stay tuned because I really want to go in detail, like check it out, what I think might be good, what I think might not be good. But overall, we're checking today because there is some massive L's in the chat today. Why the fuck does Bungie hate Titans? Someone in the comment section, let me know, because we're going right into it. We've already checked out all this stuff. Check out my video. The card will be above where we go over all the artifact stuff. Here we go. Exotic tuning. Right off the rip, they're nerfing Lucky Pants. What the fuck? Like, who thought, man, Lucky Pants is so strong, it's breaking day ones, even though no one did Lucky Pants day one. It was Still Hunt, and people are still using Still Hunt. But damn, we can't let people pop off with hand cannons. Nope, can't do that. Can't do that at all. No. So their justification is they're trying to simplify the complex mechanics for better PvE improvements and balancing. Wow. By the way, to justify the nerf that they're doing, they're trying to spice it up and make it look like a buff. They're adding new movement bonuses, increasing slide distance, sprint with a hand cannon equipped. Bitch, who's running this in PvP? Because I ain't caring about this in PvE. I'm not sliding around in PvE, and I'm not jumping around either. Like, the airborne effectiveness is now active regardless of whether the holster buff is up or not. Like, who's using this? Who's using this like PvP? No longer requires hand cannon to match super damage type. That's okay. That's a buff. But like, everything else is sucky. Out of luck cooldown now triggers only after reaching 7 stacks before switching weapon out or timing out. So it has to time out. So hot swapping, I guess, doesn't do anything. I guess if you don't shoot it, you're good. I don't know. We'll have to see what that looks like. Maximum damage reduction from 600 to 450%. Like, out of all the things that were broken, this was strong, but I thought the restrictions of requiring having to hot swap would kind of balance it out. Like, who's out here complaining like, oh, damn, that guy with a hand cannon is out DPSing everyone. We need to nerf that. Bungie's a dumbass, I swear. They are doing who thought this was going to happen? They finally realized, hey, we did this stupid thing where we nerfed the hell out of young Amakara Spine, and guess what? No one's using it in PvE anymore. So they're restoring the grenade energy ability on hits, not just final blows. Provides now 33% in PvE and 8% in PvP. Imagine when you double dip and nerf something in PvE, that you're just gonna not use it. Again, Bungie's a dumbass. Blight Ranger. Now this is interesting. I don't know. There was many people out there saying, yeah, I'm a Blight Ranger main. Enhancement to Arc Staff reflection ability for broader viability. Allows Arc Staff super cancellation, damaging and blinding enemies while boosting arc weapon damage. So it goes times 4 if you like get the full stacks. Reflects projectiles, refunds super energy, but no longer creates orb of power. So instead of doing the cheesy stuff where you can make orbs for everyone, which I don't know who was actually doing that, now it goes directly to your super and it makes it last longer. Will anyone use this? Probably not. Raiju's Harness. Yeah, that little exotic that everyone forgot about outside of Blight Ranger. Rebuilt to enhance arc, super Gathering Storm. Now this actually sounds interesting. Activating Gathering Storm now calls down lightning, jolting nearby enemies and amplifies allies. I think none of that matters except for maybe amplifying the jolting. Like, you're not using this in a group of enemies unless you're playing casually with low tier stuff. But in like endgame, if you're surrounded by something, you're probably dead anyways. Also, you're using Gathering Storm for actual damage to bosses usually. But this gives you a little bit with energy gain for defeating arc debuff targets. So, I mean, I guess if you want to use it as ad clear in a Grandmaster for like champions, if you like pop it near, like, I feel like this is way situational. I still think it's going to be ass, in my personal opinion. Like, I feel like in any in-game content, I'm not going to be surrounded by enemies because I'm dead. And if I am, it's because I'm using it a build where I want to punch and kill something, or I don't know. Again, I feel like there's better exotics. This one just seems ass to me. Spirit of Syntheseps. We knew that something was going to get nerfed with this. I didn't expect it to be Syntheseps, to be honest. Reduced melee damage bonus when both Bionic Enhancement and Stylus Executioner are active by 50% to manage high stacking bonuses. So essentially, don't use Syntheseps, which I think a lot of people were using Combination Blow with other things anyways. So yeah, just don't use Syntheseps. They're ass now. Titans. Let's see, you got an interesting rework to Ice Mantle. Reworked it to where Frost Armor is gained instead of weapon damage. Yeah. So if you like the weapon bonus damage, you don't have that no more. You just get enhanced armor. Wow. Gaining stack of Frost Armor for rapid stasis final blows. Healing for each stack gained. I guess if you're going into like Titan stasis fantasy, I guess. I don't know how much healing that is. It is interesting because stasis really does struggle for the fact that it doesn't have healing. So this might be, I don't know, Behemoth Titans. Let me know what you think. Class ability now provides maximum stats of Frost Armor and immediately healing. That sounds good. No longer restricts sprinting or jumping and works with thruster. Dope. Class ability energy recharged immediately after use, freezing and slowing nearby enemies. So thrusting, you can just freeze things on demand. PvP is about to be a bitch. Requiring a stasis super to activate its effects. I mean, yeah, that's the trade-off. It's no longer you can use it for anything, which it was kind of fun to do. But it was also very memey and not really used. Like, it's not meta. So it'll be interesting to see how it works with just a full stasis kit. Cadamus Ridge Lance Cap. This one was ass. So remove stasis weapon requirement. Thank God. Any final blows or rapid precision hits behind a rally barricade with a stasis super now creates a diamond lance. That's great. Direct hits to powerful enemies with a diamond lance now creates 3 stasis crystals. I'm gonna say, I don't know. Do I still see the synergies there with stasis crystals, but am I impressed? I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to play with it. Titans who use diamond lances a lot, let me know. Sound off in the comments. Ursa Furiosa and Spirit of the Bear. Increased maximum super energy gain from Unbreakable in PvE from 15% to 20%. Fixed excessive super energy gain in PvP. Now maxes at 10%. Let me know in the comments. I don't use Unbreakable or use Ursa Furiosa with Unbreakable. Like, you guys can let me know whether this is a dub or is this good? Is it good now? Is it worth using? Let me know in the comments because I'm not Titan main. I'm more of like a Warlock Hunter stan. Curse of the Falling Star. Now, this one I used as a Titan, so I know this is a straight up nerf. And Bungie, like DMGs and like literally was on Twitter trying to justify it. Guys, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. We just buffed it. In fact, I'm almost tempted to try to find it. Like I'm almost tempted to find the comment section where he's desperately trying to do damage control. This is the shit that makes no sense. Like, it makes no sense to me. So let's go. He's like talking about, here we go. Yeah, why do you hate Titans so much? We don't hate Titans. Twit a couple of weeks ago. Back, tons of buff talks. Sure. Yeah, I was excited, but this week Curse gets nerfed damage-wise. And they say Thunder Crash was buffed. Curse toned down a bit so it won't be super out of band. We'll still do more damage than base when you're using the exotic. That's not what it says. Let's go. Let's look at this. Let's look at this, shall we? Thunder Crash multiplier reduced from 2 times to 1.55 times. Keep overall damage similar to base damage buff. Similar. Which means, oh, it's not like he makes it sound like you're really going to get a gain out of it. Like, bitch, what are you talking about? Grant super energy from melee final blows while amplified. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's running around just punching things, unless this works for Prismatic, I guess. Replace Overshield with 50% damage resistance in PvE and 10% in PvP. okay, neat, I guess. But yeah, like, we'll still do more damage. Like, I hate this. Someone that they really don't like Titans. And let's be honest here, Titan Crash is all right. But when you look at every other super in the game, it is nothing compared to it. Absolutely nothing. It is a joke. But don't worry, Titans. If you thought Thunder Crash was bad, wait until we get to the super nerfs, because they really don't like Titans. Thunder Crash Recurrus was super weak compared to other things in the first place. Aiming a Thunder Crash is like 10 times harder than aiming a Golden Gun too, or throwing 3 huge axes that do more damage and debuff. And it doesn't even make contact with a chunk of bosses because you just slide off them. But Bungie's gonna paint this as, this is a fair balance. We took player feedback. We heard that Titans were struggling, so we decided to fucking nerf them more. I'm sorry, Titan bros out there. I'm not a Titan main, but I'm hurting for you. Even after all the fact that you guys have complained how weak Titans have felt, they are just kicking you in the balls. But hey, you have stasis now. Isn't that great? Stasis buffs. Boy, Bungie's a full bunch of jackasses. All right, moving on. Peacekeepers. Now, here's the massive W for you Titans. You've been jealous of hunters and warlocks having like really good, you know, neutral game exotics. Now's your time to shine. You can be not the cowboy, but now you can be the shooter, the quick draw SMG gangsta. That's right. Get that SMG out. Like, what's up, son? I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyways, they're now buffing Peacekeepers. Peacekeepers now offer a PvE bonus damage for SMGs, escalating as you deal damage. Damage to enemies with an SMG increases damage up to 100% over 20 stacks. So I'm assuming that's 20 bullets, which you're gonna really want hefty, fast SMGs that shoot fast and also have a large magazine size to really benefit, I think. I don't know. Maybe it sounds good in my head, but when you think of how weak SMGs actually are, this may just come out to like, hey, look, I'm now using it like maybe LMG damage. Maybe that's what it turns out to be. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. My religious SMG users out there who are like, I'm always using SMGs even in Grandmasters, because I'm not. But it's interesting. Now you have a neutral game exotic that doesn't require you to punch something. That's good. They did something good. I'll give them that. But fuck them for nerfing everything else. Mask of the Quiet One. Now let's go on to that. Now grants the Devour effect from rapid final blows and final blows while critical health, requiring a Void super. I think that's neat. Mask of the Quiet One has sucked ass, so being able to get Void on demand is pretty good. Staying alive is pretty good. Now, your class exotic nerfs. Hunters got them. So now it's your turn to get a nerf to your stoicism changes. Here you go. I said nerfs. These are actually all buffs. I take that back. Warlock, I don't know if Warlock. I think it's just Hunter that got nerfs. So Spirit of the Horn, because it sucks ass, now activates thrusters, leaves an explosive solar ball that scorches enemies. I still think it's going to be mid, maybe with a centered solar build synergy, like you're just thrusting. You know what? In most light with Horn, actually maybe an interesting strat, because you're just going around. It depends on how many stacks of scorches you get. Like if it's barely anything and you have to do like 5 thrusters, then like who cares? Spirit Alpha Loopy, activating thruster heals the players and nearby allies. Now you get to be a support boy in more than one way. I wonder how much health you're gonna get. That's also a very specific factor. Spirit of Horrorfrost, activating thrusters now spawns stasis crystals. That's cool. Just on demand. Warlock. I'm gonna say Warlock, I think, got the better deal if I'm looking at everything. Yeah, Warlocks. Someone at Bungie loves Warlocks because most of these are buffs. It's just Titan and Hunter, mostly Titan, that got bent over in these updates. So we got Warlock, Balador's Wraithweavers. Enhanced support capabilities with a Heart of Ice perk. increasing shatter damage from frozen targets by 100%, regardless of the source. Okay? Allies grant Frost Armor via Frost Pulse or Winter's Wrath, now provides super energy to the wearer with potency based on the number of allies affected. I don't know if, I'm going to be honest. I don't know how, I don't know. This doesn't, as someone who plays Warlock, nothing screams, I'm going to use this. I want to be honest. So I still think they're going to be mid compared to other exotic options we have. Skull of Dire Amakara. Added a new benefit where weapon defeats while Devour is activated. Now grants super energy ranging from 1% to 4.5% depending on the target type. I'm going to be honest. I don't think that's going to do anything for it, Chief. Like, I'm going to be honest. The fact that it requires you to have Devour. Now, if it gave you Devour on kill, that would be nasty and it would be broken, but I would think it would be worth using. But the fact that you have to pre-proc Devour and then you have, it's like 1% per kill, like to 4%. Like, what? I don't understand Bungie doing buffs and it's half-ass stuff like this. Like, fuck, dude, go broke. Try something. Go crazy. If it's too high, then tune it down. But like, Jesus, like you might as well just delete the stupid thing if you're not going to do anything to it that actually is beneficial. Now, this is an interesting one. Sanguine Alchemy. I never thought I would be interested in using this exotic until now. Now marks targets damaged while standing in a rift. So you mark them. 10% extra damage from all sources marked. So any target you mark. So even in PvE, that's going to be a free 10% just by standing. Now, is that going to be stackable? I don't know. It might be considered a surge. Well, someone will have to do some damage testing, but that 10% for free on top of your rift, if you're doing empowering, that's if it stacks like that, I don't know if it does. But even if it's a healing rift, that's 10% you normally wouldn't have. Provides surges. Oh, I'm such a dumbass. Provides surge ×4 to weapons matching your super damage. So if you have it, you're automatically getting ×4. Reading the script helps understand the script. So wait, so you get 4 ×4, and it does sound like it's multiplicative. You get ×4 and you get a bonus 10%. Okay, that sounds nasty. Target marking lasts 5 seconds and is activated by damage within a rift. I think I'm going to use Sanguine Alchemy because that sounds pretty good. Verity's Brow and Spirit of Verity. Increase the first stack of death throws to provide 40% grenade damage in PV, up from 20%. Each additional stack now provides 15%, up to 100% at 5 stacks. PvP bonus damage. Oh my God. Verity's Brow is about to cook with some nades, baby. I'm telling you, I'm going back to a Warlock. I'm going back to Warlock. Now, Xenotaph. Bungie did a dumbass nerf. We all said it was stupid. To Xenotaph. And they agree. Reverted the change that hit target markers. Damaging vehicles, bosses, or champions with a trace rifle will now visually mark the target again. Why are we playing hide and seek? That was such a stupid nerf. Like, they already nerfed everything else. Like, what the hell? Osmomancy Gloves. This is a nerf to PvP. I don't know if it's going to be bad in PvE. Reduce the seeker distance and speed up by 50% to address frustration in PvP while maintaining their PvE effectiveness. Now, if this distance is also nerf, then in PvE, this will also be a nerf because it would track you would toss it and it would track pretty well. So if they don't maintain it like that in PvE, then I mean, this is a nerf in PvE. It sucks ass. Speaker Sight. Reintroduced orb generation in Crucible. Healing 6 damage allies will now spawn an orb of power, addressing previous gameplay issues. I'll be honest. Warlocks got like the better end of the stick. Like, Warlocks next season are probably going to be the best in slot. There was low-key someone that was arguing me saying Warlocks were like paled in comparison to Titan and Warlock or Titan and Hunter. And I'm like, bitch, what? What are you talking about? Warlock's about to cook next season. What the you talking about? All right, here we go. Here's exotic damage tuning. With the Revenant update, the balance of damage output for one-shot super abilities enhanced by exotic armor is being standardized. The aim is to ensure that hard-to-use supers are more potent compared to easier ones. So this is what you're going to get percentage-wise, and it's on the screen for you too, but I have my cheat sheet. Curse of the Falling Star plus Thunder Crash is unchanged. Man, I wonder why. It's because you're already freaking nerfing it, you dumbass. Pyro Gale, Gauntlets, and Burning Maul, 10%, so it's going to do 10% more damage. Spirit of Star Eaters plus Nova Bomb decreased by 12%. Because, you know, Nova Bomb wasn't doing so good, and then finally we get a reason to use Nova Bomb, and now they're nerfing it. I forgot about that. That does suck for a Warlock. Like, okay, let me just stay on Solar for the rest of my life. What the fuck, Bungie? Here we go. This is the biggest L of, or I think, Spirit of the Star Eaters plus Twilight Arsenal. Decreased damage by 26%. What the hell, dude? Spirit of Star Eater plus Storm's Edge and Needle Storm, unchanged. Celestial Nighthawk and Golden Gun, decreased bosses by 5%. The changes aim to balance damage outputs while retaining competitiveness among supers. No, it doesn't. The fuck are you talking about? This doesn't make me want to use anything else beside what was already good. They're one shots. I wouldn't use a roaming super over these. Like, what are you talking about? The overall damage of Celestial Nighthawk's Golden Gun remains about 70% of Curse's Thunder Crash damage, fostering more viable options and challenging. Bitch, no one was using Thunder Crash because you had to hit the target. Like for instance, the Witness. You couldn't Thunder Crash the Witness, but you could Golden Gun it. What are you talking about? But you know what could hit the Witness? Twilight Arsenal. Sorry, we gotta nerf that interaction. Specific changes. Curse of the Falling Star. Yeah, we are nerfed. Curse, yeah. Reduced Thunder Crash from 2 times to 1.5. Pyro Gale's up 10%. I'm just looking at the specific numbers. Reduced Nova Bomb and Thunder Crash benefits from 70% to 50%. You just, okay. Reduced Twilight Arsenal benefit from 70% to 25%. Ouch. These adjustments are designated to create a more balanced and competitive gameplay experience. Competitive to who? If the supers compete against each other, sure, but like you're acting like we're playing PvE competitive right now. Like, what the hell? Summary of weapon tuning and new mods. Now, I'm going to do the weapon stuff separately, but the weapon tuning we will talk about here, but the new weapons I'm going to address later, like the perks and stuff like that. But we're going to continue on for your beautiful faces. Primary weapons. Damage has been redistributized, whatever, I can't speak, to prioritize critical hits, with critical hit damage increased by 5 to 7% and body damage decreased by the same range for most primary weapons, autos, scouts, pulse rifles, submachine guns, sidearms, and hand cannons. So if you do body damage, you're gonna do less damage. Oh, okay. Just get good, kids. Get good. Specific adjustments. Heavy burst pulse rifles. RPM changed from 300 to 324. PvE damage decreased by 18% for legendary weapons. That's a nerf. Graviton Lance and Revision 0 reduced by 8%. That's a nerf. Sniper rifles reduce flinch against combatants by 50% and camera roll against players by 10%. Yes, because snipers are just bad, but I don't know if this is going to improve. Like, they're buffing damage against minors, majors, mini boss, and champions. The last two matter. The other ones, who the hell's using a sniper against trash ads? Are you stupid? But mini bosses and champions, it's nice to see those, especially champions. You will see that in game quite often. Glaives, fixed issue of incorrect magazine size previews due to perks. Okay. Shotguns, increased minimal damage fall off from 0 to 40% against AI to improve viability in high-end PvE combat. So you can shoot a shotgun from longer. Wow. Imagine that when you make a gun that you had to barrel stuff something, and in most endgame content, doing that ends up with you dead. Of course, no one's going to use it. Granted, shotguns don't have like the most ammo in the first place, and using them to kill trash ads feels stupid. So do I think this is going to move the needle? Probably not. Rocket assist sidearms. We knew that something was going to happen. And they already told us they're reducing reserve ammo by 25%. Trace rifles increase base PvP ammo from 25 to 29. And wow, aren't you excited to use trace rifles? I'm not. Machine guns, high impact variants received a 4% increase in critical hit damage. Okay. Heavy ammo grenade launchers. Detonation damage against combatants decreased by 5%, while projectile impact damage was increased, keeping total damage in PvE the same. In PvP, the impact damage is increased by approximately 7% to 26, depending on blast radius. So you have to hit targets directly in PvP to even notice the buff. And I'm guessing the 26% is to kill overshields. Rapid fire grenade launchers increased impact and detonation damage by 7%. Neat. PvP micro tuning. Global weapon tuning has shifted from perks to base PvP damage values, affecting most primary weapons minimally. I want numbers of what that looks like. Yeah, I would like to see numbers. They say minimally. I don't trust anything they say. NERFS. Slight base and critical damage reductions. I think there's actual numbers here, and for some god-awful reason, I didn't get it. Here, I'm not following along, so I apologize. Here, for some reason, the summary I didn't keep it. So, from 4.47 to 4.5, it is very minimal. Actually, when I say minimal, it actually really is minimal. So let's be honest. High adaptive auto rifles and high impact pulse rifles, minor damage adjustments to reduce effectiveness against high resilience. Buffs. Adaptive submachine guns, precision auto rifles, high impact auto rifles, precision hand cannons, heavy burst hand cannons, heavy burst pulse rifles, aggressive scouts. Various increases to base and critical damage to improve performance. And here they are on screen for you because I don't want to read every last one of them. Some of them, I don't know if it's really going to do much. We'll have to, honestly, a lot of this depends on your play style, whether you like those kind of guns. We're just gonna have to take it and play with it to see, because seeing it on paper and actually playing it in game is two different things. All right, we're skipping the exotic weapons because we're gonna talk about them tomorrow. Weapon perks tomorrow because I want to talk about them. Weapon mods. This is huge. And the first time in a long time, we got actual real mods, not like adept versions. Like we got real mods. Overall, these changes aim to enhance gameplay balance, improve weapon variety in PvE, and adjustments performance in PvP. New weapon mods. To refresh the weapon mod landscape, several new mods have been introduced for enhanced or crafted weapons. These include combo stat mods, providing +6/+6 bonuses to 2 different stats. So just imagine you're getting +6/+6 on 2 different stats. Ballistics, range and stability. Tactical, reload and handling. Aerodynamics, blast radius, projectile speed. Tension, draw time, accuracy. Edge, charge rate, guard resistance. Anti-flinch, 15% flinch reduction. Ammo finder enhancements. Progresses 10% faster per kill with this weapon. Heavy, same thing, 10% faster per kill. That is huge. You know we're going to get some kind of ammo generation stat. So it seems like we're really going to be able to build into that. That's awesome, because I think one of the biggest issues in this game is ammo sometimes. Now, not necessarily special. I feel like we always have special, like easily. It's heavy that it seems like a struggle. So with this in regard, I think this is going to be nice. Optic mods, marksman for snipers. Linear fusion, scout, bow, machine gun, trace rifles, and shotguns. +2 zoom. On the low, -2 zoom. CQC optics for hand cannons, pulse rifles, auto rifles, submachine guns, sidearms, fusions, and grenade launchers. +1 zoom. On low, -1 zoom. Synergy mods increase the chance to spawn a subclass bauble matching the weapon's damage type. Kinetic weapons spawn an orb of power instead. Stun loader mod partially refills the weapon's magazine when stunning a champion. That's actually not bad. I think for Grandmasters, that's pretty nice. Future plans. Looking ahead to episode Heresy and Beyond, there are plans for significant updates, including enhancement to glaives, improvements to underutilized Darcy. They're going to do something with Darcy. I can't read. And aggressive frame fusion rifles because they are struggling. Changes to the overall MO economy to introduce more determinism and build crafting options. These updates aim to enhance gameplay variety and strategic options for players. Who would have thought? All right, and then we have a word about weapon crafting. Talk about something that I love to freaking see. If I can find it, I am so excited to see this. This makes me feel, we're going to skip this for now because we're going to come back. All right, update in seasonal weapon crafting. The developers are shifting their approach to weapon crafting with the release of Revenant, reflecting on the success of the brave arsenal weapons from Into the Light. They plan to enhance the gear chase. Thank God. Thank God. Starting in Revenant, seasonal weapons will not be craftable, but players can still enhance perks using materials. Players will have opportunities to target specific weapons and unlock additional perks as they progress through the episode. The focus is on creating a more rewarding gear chase through activities with improvements like vendor focusing to help players achieve desired roles. Shut the fuck up, everyone that continues to, oh my God, I don't like it.
I don't like it. Wait, no, I don't like that one. Ooh, no.
Hold on. I don't like, what is it, this one? I don't like it. I don't like grinding in my MMOs and my looters. I don't like it. Listen, I am tired of people bitching. I sympathetic for casuals, but I said specifically they could focus on improving the RNG with like focusing, and that's exactly what they're doing. Please, people, you're playing, it's an MMO with a mask, but God forbid you play a real MMO or any other looter, because it literally is in the name. You're supposed to loot. Thank God. I'm sorry, I'm gonna piss people off, but I don't give a fuck. And if you're a subscriber and you're mad at me, just know I'm still for the casuals and the people that don't have full-time jobs, but this is one thing I will not budge on. Shut the fuck up. That is what a looter is. My God, I grew up with Borderlands, Destiny as a looter, Warframe, WoW, Diablo. I can go on, Final Fantasy online. Like, Jesus Christ, people. Now, again, we can have a conversation whether they can improve the farm. That's absolutely on the table, and I'm all options to hear what you think they could do to improve the vendor experience and RNG, because that's what they want to do. They want to help players achieve desired roles and perks. They understand that there's casuals that don't have hours, so we can find a middle ground, and I'm willing to be there for it. While crafting remains available for obtaining specific weapon roles, their recent emphasis on individual weapon drops with deep sight has diminished. This change aims to rekindle excitement for hunting new weapons. That's right. No longer is the focus on always red borders. Get your 5, you're done. You know what? But I think.
This is what I think. Yes. Yes, the loot chase is back. I'm sorry.
Anyways, that's the end of this. I'm a little dizzy now. We're going to talk about the rest for the video tomorrow, so be sure to check it out, which this should give people a time to simmer, because now not only are people upset at Bungie for the nerfs, but they're also pissed off at me because of the fact that I'm glad we have grind back. But again, remember, all the times I've criticized Bungie, especially for the casuals, I want you to look back at those times. I've been there for you. So maybe give me a pass. But we can have a conversation. What do you think they could do? If you're not getting crafting, so what could they do? I mean, it seems like they're going to lay back on the crafting in the future too. What do you think is a good middle ground? What could they do to improve the chase? We're talking about vendor focusing, which is what I suggested. That was one of my things about what they could do. And I'm glad that's exactly what they're actually going to do. So let me know in the comments down below. Outside of that, outside of the people, the small group of people that pissed off about what, well, let's be honest, it's 50-50. Half the community loves the chase, half the community doesn't. And really, that's not saying much because 90% of them left, and a lot of them are veterans. And a lot of them are my clan too, by the way. And they like the chase, but they just don't like the game. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about all these nerfs? There's some good buffs in there, but I feel like there were more nerfs than there were buffs. So let me know, how are you feeling? What is the sentiment? Is this really exciting you, or is this killing more of your drive to play? Let me know down below. Until next time, I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor.
And I'm sorry that I upset you about the crafting.